Charles has us clapping to some music this morning. Clap your hands.
Is that gonna be safe?
Staying alive. Nope. Staying alive. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, well, that's not your couch.
Is it?
It's not
It's
your couch.
our couch.
It's our couch.
Welcome. Another podcast. We're
What's
here.
up, everybody?
Early mornings. We're
Hey,
getting
what is
after
it though? Guess what it is?
Monday.
Freaking 2024.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Zayo.
What's
What's
your
up?
New Year's resolution? Everyone got quiet. Everyone's like,
I asked Scooter this morning. He said, quit being a bitch.
Yeah. I did say that. I said my goal this year is to not be so much of a bitch.
That's gonna be a hard one.
So broke. I think that's my key. I'm gonna work on
Not
saving.
be so broke?
I'm gonna work on saving.
You need to
money.
work on.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
We talked
I'm
about
really
that.
good at spending. I'm not good at.
Mister
saving.
gets a movie and buys 11 Pelican cases.
Those are sick though. Those are sick. They're
He's got a whole flock of them.
No, he did.
color, dude. They're
Pelican
pretty.
has a thing where you can like color coordinate design to your
gosh.
buckles, and he got one of every size, all in a color.
That's
thing.
really cute.
That's like
That's
my.
really cute.
You know, no one
It
on
is.
set's gonna be like, these are mine. I'm red and yellow.
I
Yeah.
don't think anyone ever does that on set. Huh?
Yeah,
No.
I don't think anyone's
Well,
doing it.
already. I get a lot of stuff.
You know, actually, they make
Maybe
these
if
things
you're in
called
LA.
they make these things called labels. Actually, you can just put like your name or like the
I
name of your
flipped
company
those
on
get
anything.
quickly
Actually,
peeled.
it's pretty
I
cool.
was like some tape.
Some tape, gaff tape. Yeah, with a little Sharpie.
Peeled.
Really ancient technology. Actually, you should look into these.
You
Yeah.
guys don't need it.
Yeah, someone needs to help.
Instead of
Alex
color
out.
coding your pelicans. You know.
Alex is like, how come at the end of every movie you're chilling and you can go a few months and I don't have any money?
Yeah, but I got like 6 pimpin' pellies, dude.
Bro, talk about money. I'm just seeing your wedding ring. It's got like diamonds on the inside.
Dude, my girl blinged me out. You like that?
That is dope.
On the
Because
inside.
I was like, I want something cool.
Yeah, on like the on that
Oh,
inside
that's
ring
cool.
right
And
there.
then she
Like, that's
found
cool,
one that
man.
had one diamond in the middle, and I was like, that's a little like, you know.
Yeah.
And then it's on the inside.
Do you wear
That's
your
cool.
ring on set?
Yeah. Not the metal one. I wear those rubber ones.
The rubber ones?
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Dude,
fine.
if I saw
I don't
him
wear a
out
ring
hunting with
anymore.
this thing,
Yeah, you
I
get
would
one
lose
tattooed?
my mind.
I actually very rarely.
Like
wear
you all know
that.
my commitment to life. I don't think I need to.
Everybody knows my wife.
Yeah, exactly. They know you.
Anybody
They know
who
your
wears
wife.
a metal
so it's
ring
like-
on set is doing something wrong because you're just banging up your camera. and
Yeah,
stuff.
you just
I'll learn that. No
Ring-
jewelry on
When
set.
the
Ring
first time I started
avulsion.
editing, I was like,
Huh?
oh my
Ring
gosh.
avulsion.
Is that where it rips your finger off?
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
That's why I wear the rubber ones. This is like
Yeah.
if I'm going out or want to be fancy. I
That's why
woke
I
up
just
this
don't wear
morning and I was like, I want to be fancy in front of my boys.
So fancy.
Fancy.
What's up?
He's really showing.
But
us
I
out.
don't do like New Year's resolutions. That's not.
You know it'd be weird if Charles just showed up with jewelry on one day, just like a bunch of rings,
Just completely blinged
necklaces,
out.
Classic
earrings.
suit.
The grill.
All right, well, I got a flash
time.
from the past. I got a question for you. I've been wondering this about Charles for a while now because I feel like I'm always
Okay.
talking about this. I feel like we've dove into Alex about this. But Charles just sits here kind of quiet, sliding under
He's
the
so
radar.
quiet.
So quiet. This
Yeah.
guy.
Spoke.
F you.
Where did film start for you? What got Charles into film?
We talked about this in like our first podcast.
Did
I was
we?
about to say this is our first podcast. Game.
This is embarrassing.
Scooter.
Whatever.
Do you watch our podcast, bro?
Answer the damn question, Charles. Maybe somebody in this podcast didn't watch the first one 20 episodes ago. What got you into film?
Sure. Is this 20 episodes?
16.
We're not quite there yet. 16 episodes.
Chat. You guys see how they
Chat.
freaking talk to me?
I got started. I went to. Gosh.
No, but okay, maybe this is where I'm going with this question. Why film school?
Why?
Yeah.
Okay. The real reason why
Yeah.
is because I didn't know what.
No
that,
bullshit.
No bullshit.
No
This
bullshit.
is Charles's truth.
Okay.
Okay. Dead serious. We're serious.
Ooh.
That face.
No, I went to school and I got my bachelor's degree in biology, and then I got accepted into Westminster nursing school.
Which is a very expensive school. But
Very
like
expensive
Hogwarts.
school. It might as well be.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it's like 35 grand. At least when I was going, it was like 35 grand a semester.
it's just as much or more now.
I'm sure it is.
I
Way
wanted to
more.
join their snowboarding team after high school, and it wasn't in reality.
Hogwarts
Yeah.
snowboarding team.
Which I was super stoked to even like get into the school, right? And most kids get like scholarships and like grants and stuff to help offset the cost. But like I skied a lot in college and rock climbed a lot, and so my grades weren't like the bestest. So that's why I was like still stoked to get into the school, right?
Yeah, if you was a bum, if you saw
You're
Charles,
like, my
get,
grade's
Red
actually
Bulls.
my grade's a 5.12. I think you guys should let me in.
Yeah, exactly. I ski double black diamonds. What's up? No, and so I was sitting in school going like, and I also at the time I was working for Intermountain Healthcare in the OR as a tech, and I realized I was like, this is just not what I want to do for the rest of my life. Stuck in an OR room, which just wasn't fun to me anymore.
Was there any passion before that brought you to that? Like, did you?
Yeah, I
was it,
still
like, medical?
love biology. Like human anatomy is what I emphasized in
Okay.
my first degree, and so like yeah, I freaking love like the body and the human, how it works and all that stuff. Like it's awesome. But I kind of lost interest in it when I was actually like working in the industry. Like, and there's a lot of politics, like the way that doctors treat nurses and all that stuff, like is messed up, especially male nurses. And then like the way that women like looked at male nurses at the time too, like, cause we're talking almost 20 years ago, right?
Oh yeah, it was almost like a joke. It was kind of like,
100%,
oh, you
dude.
can't be a doctor. And, yeah.
And like all the male nurses that I knew, like they were like, they didn't even practice being like a male nurse. Like they like went straight into administration.
Well, I mean, I could be wrong or butchering this a little bit. From what I do know, though, you have to be a nurse to become a doctor.
No.
You can just be a straight doctor.
Yeah, you go to medical school.
But through that, you have to do like in-person training for 6 months through this program and stuff like that. And that's through like you'd be a nurse at that point.
No, it's
No?
totally different. Yeah,
Isn't
nursing,
there, like, a
nursing school
residency?
and medical school are totally different.
Oh, okay. Then I'm wrong.
Like nursing school, like you can be done nursing school in 2 years. Like medical school is like another 7 years of school.
Oh, fun.
is the
And
first
then
2
you do
years of
an
medical?
internship, and then your residency, and then
Is the first 2 years of medical your nursing school?
it's like
Do you see what I'm saying?
I don't think there's a
I
Venn
see-
diagram
I
there.
see what you're
I think
saying.
they're separate.
yeah, they're
They're
still
separate?
separate,
Okay, okay.
but yeah.
Bummer. I was really excited for my girlfriend's doing nursing, and I was like, "Well, you're done. You're about done with your nursing. You can just
I
pop
guess
in a
that
few
makes
more
sense because
years."
Mer's done with her nursing and she's in a full different program.
To
for-
become a PA.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
which being a PA is like almost like a doctor.
I said just go another
Not in our
year.
industry.
Literally, right? I know. I'm like, you're gonna be a PA, and like in our industry, that's kind of like bottom, and then like in her industry, you're literally
Not a
delivering babies and like.
Physician's assistant, not a producer's
not a production
or
assistant, dang
production
it.
assistant.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, anyways, in that grand whole scheme of things, looking at it, I minored in photography, with my biology degree, and then also
That was when there's film.
yeah, and then I also like filmed like short movies with my friends.
That's why Charles walks around with like the white balance meter, and he acts all cool. He's like, I know what I'm doing.
He's like, "Hold on, guys, let me test the light."
White balance meter.
Let me just get a reflection real quick.
Yeah. So
Do you remember that one movie we were on where DP didn't pull it out once on a
And
night
you just
shoot?
did this the whole time.
didn't know how to use a light meter. Yeah, it's great.
Just
That's my favorite shit.
The
I'm not
fist
gonna
check.
lie, you can see reflections on your hand. You can see like light bounce a little bit. But my favorite shit is just when someone goes, "Yeah, it's good."
Yeah, I
It's
don't know,
good."
I like that.
And
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
you're
real
not
nice.
even looking through the
It's
camera.
like a
you
2-1
don't even
ratio
know,
right
like-
there. I think we'll be all right.
Unless they're like really OG though, then I respect it. Like,
Yeah.
when Benjo does it, I'm like, he knows what he's looking for. But yeah.
Yeah, but not when it's your first movie. No. So I kind of had that film background already, like established as far as like still photography, which is completely different than making movies, but as for cameras, it's kind of the same. And then I made like short movies with my friends and stuff growing up. And so when I dropped out of nursing school, I went back to school at UVU, University of Utah, here in Orem, Utah, and just kind of started taking random classes. And I was like, what am I going to do with my life? I don't know, because I can't make any money rock climbing, because at the time it really wasn't a thing.
Skiing doesn't
You
pay
still
that
can't make
much.
money rock climbing,
I was like,
but
What's your
whatever.
Alex Honnold? Yeah, yeah.
And so yeah, I just taken random classes, and one of my friends was like, "Hey, take this like intro to digital media with me, and I was like, man, what the hell, why not? And I was like, bro, this is my jam. It's like technology, it's fun. The professors are telling me I can make money doing it, which was a load of shit.
I'm gonna be broke for 6 months out of the year. What the hell?
Love it.
And so I was like, cool, this is awesome. I like making movies. And then
What was the first set you stepped on?
Yeah.
At that point, that was like that light bulb click. That was because I remember exactly when it happened for me. It was on Hunting Ava Bravo, and me, you, and John were in 4 feet of snow, and Jay was up on the side of the hill. It was like 3 a.m. Or no, I don't know if John was right next to us at this point, but we were on that hillside, and you needed to fix something. You're like, here, hold my Trinity, or I'll go run and grab the batteries, because I've just been hiking back and forth.
Yeah.
And so I put the Trinity on my shoulder, and then Jay was running like 2 light stands, 2 like S60s, just like something crazy, just like all this
Dude,
shit on his back.
We need to get him to come do a podcast with us.
Oh, 100%.
He'd be great.
100%.
He'd be great.
And then I want to box him after.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy fights me on
Kick your
set.
ass, dude.
Dude, it's
Should do
sick.
podcasts and just set this up for like a fight night.
Little
for
fight
everybody
night
that
after.
comes over.
I like that.
No, this fool's just going through like 4 feet of snow, and he turns back, and this was my first movie. At that point, he's like, "You good?" He's like, "We only got 200 more yards. Let's go." And we just like start like just trotting through. And at that moment, I was like, I fucking love this. I was like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And not a lot of people are like that, but I think you could compare it to like adventuring outside, from rock climbing on Moab Adventures to when we're out in the swamp or anything. It's that like being in the environments and being like so immersed into it, and then you're with your best friends and you like you have an end goal, and like I don't know.
Yeah,
That
you're
to me-
accomplishing the end goal.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, it's like, hell yeah. Like, we just did it. Like, we made our day, we did it, and it's like, you close the gate on the truck, right? Lock it,
good.
and you're like, yeah.
I didn't have the privilege of like serving in the military, but I like you hear the stories of how they miss it so much and like want that camaraderie and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see where they're coming from in the aspect of our like film, our little
Totally.
sliver that we get of that, you know.
There's a lot of military dudes that we know that are in film.
100%.
They
Oh, yeah.
love it.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
bond with. I
Second
click
home
with
to them.
Good too. They're really, really good.
Chain of command and like
Mhm.
yeah, if you're that type of person when they're like, who's got a knife on him, who's got a lighter on him, who's got a flashlight on him, and like when you're like those
They've got all
type
3
of
of those in one.
people, yeah, it's like everybody's a multi-tool. It's like it's really cool.
Yeah, my first movie was, I did a couple things before this that were fun, and I loved them, but it didn't really like click for me until this movie, which the movie was called White on Rice, a super low budge indie film, had some decent names in it at the time, but like I got hired on as an intern because they needed people for help to rig a bunch of stuff, and so they reached out to UVU, and my name was thrown out there to go do it with a couple other guys. And so I went, and then I spoke up to the Key Grip, and I was like, hey, if you guys are looking for homies, like, I'm available. And he laughed, and he's like, I'm not the guy to talk to for that stuff, right? And I was like, well, at least I tried, right? And then I go home that night, and I kid you not, 9 o'clock at night, he calls me up on the phone. He's like, hey, you want a job tomorrow? And I was like, hell yeah. And so we laugh about it now. But yeah, so he brought me onto that movie, and what happened is that one of the guys, that day that I was there, I wasn't on set because I was just rigging whatever scene that they were getting ready for the next day. But that day that I was rigging somewhere else when they were filming over here, one of their electricians lost his shit and freaked out on set and like threw lights at people and
Happens.
then walked off, and they needed a guy and to replace him. And so because I spoke up and said something, I was that guy.
Smart.
And
All I can say is I know a lot of people that have gotten to the industry. When we say preparation meets opportunity, like I say that 10 times over, but when that phone rings, like you never know who's going to get sick or family emergencies or things happen. And I have made really good connections that brought a lot of jobs by that one phone call. Hey, can you come in real quick? So and so's sick, and then the rest is history.
Yeah. And so it worked, and like honestly, that movie like made a ton of connections with a ton of great people, you know, and like the movie wasn't anything special. It wasn't great. I don't think it went. I mean, I guess it won a ton of awards actually, but
It wasn't good or anything, but it just won like a bunch of awards.
yeah,
A couple Oscars, whatever. Just like,
if only. Yeah, but that's kind of the movie that did it for me, and I was like, man, this is so much fun. Like it like feeds my ADD beast. Yeah, and it had a blast doing it, you know, and like I said, you know, you close the tailgate at the end of the night, and you're like, hell yeah, we like freaking did it.
And it's 12-hour days, like, not talking shit on 9 to 5s, but when you do a 12-hour day and you're getting paid good, like, nothing's better than knowing, like, I made that money kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the night, it's like, and to some people, they don't get that till Friday when they're walking out, and it's like, oh, that was a good week. And it's
Right.
like, when you can do that at the end of every day, now that's not for the whole year, but when you can do that at the end of the night, it's really nice.
And I'd go so far to say that like every single show that I've done, regardless of the size, you know, if it's just something that we're doing with the four of us, or if it's like, you know, a $50 million movie, like I've had a blast on every single show. Now I'm not saying that every show has been like, oh, walk in the park and it's like, you know, super easy and like I'd never get frustrated or mad or whatever at anybody. Like those things still happen, but like at the end of the show, like I look back at everything and I'm like, dude, like every single day was awesome.
There's
Even the
something
days that suck.
Yeah, there's something
like, are awesome.
enjoyable about the suck. I was just about to say that. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like, if you can embrace the suck, ooh, we should make a patch that says embrace the suck.
I think they're out there,
make a second patch.
but you
We're gonna
could
ma-
just buy one on Amazon.
I'm going to make t-shirts, baby bibs, mugs.
Trucker hats.
Baby bits.
Yeah, I'm having a baby. It's in my head, okay? Embrace the suck with the baby bib. That's
Little
perfect.
beer
I think
cozies.
that would like mean something else
Yeah, that's gonna
on a
sell,
baby
though.
bib.
That's the
That it's a multi-million-dollar idea that I'm giving away again. This podcast is bad. Well, it's good for the listeners, bad for me because I just give away all my ideas and businesses.
Stop doing that.
Stop doing that, man.
So what you're saying, Charles, is if you're lost, you don't know where you're going, it's okay to hit the reset button and take a different path. Because I think there's people who are in college, coming straight out of college, where it's like, at least the common theme I see is people go to school not knowing what they want to do, and they're kind of like, I'll figure it out once I graduate. And they're kind of just getting a generic degree.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it was weird, dude, because I legitimately, like, growing up, I did not know, like, what I wanted to do. Like, my mom was a school teacher and a librarian, and my father was a pilot in the Air Force, and then also an investment manager, a financial advisor. And, like, obviously my father wanted me to, like, join the military and, like, you know, be in the Air Force like he was, and then, like, do the financial thing like he did and, like, take over his business. But I was like, man, I don't do math, first of all. And then, like, the whole military thing just didn't, like, jive with me at the time. Now I'm like, damn it, I should have, like, gone and joined the Air Force and, like, flown F-16s and, like...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I fully regret it. My whole family served and everything, and I have a lot of friends that serve, and yeah, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, I think things have changed a little bit, as far as like where we're fighting and what we're fighting for. Back when I was 18, I say back, but 11 years ago, it would make sense. 10 years ago, but like now I don't necessarily want to.
Yeah. So yeah, I legitimately didn't know like what I wanted to do, and so like biology like made sense to me because it's like what I liked in high school, but I guess like looking back at it, it wasn't like that deep rooted. It wasn't like
There wasn't a passion.
yeah, it
behind
wasn't a passion or what like really wasn't in my core, and so like I see why it fell apart now, if that makes sense.
I feel like that happens to a lot of younger people.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of weight on your shoulders, especially in the United States to immediately, second year out of high school, you're going into college. And
Yeah.
it's really hard to, how are you going to determine from when you're 17 and 18 and learning to drive a car and worrying about who's popular at school to what am I going to do the rest of my life and put money and invest into that? It's like there's not enough time to decide that.
Yeah.
I think for me, and I think age is a perception, but for me, it didn't click till I was like 24, 25, where I was like what a career actually meant.
Mm-hmm.
Because like to me, it was just like I can make money. I'll go shoot a music video. I'll go do this. And like as soon as shit started getting more serious, and like Charles has hinted to me a few things over the years, but like now I think it all has come full circle, and I'm like, oh, and like the stability of it, and like all the
Put
things.
that on a shirt. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, Phil, because I came into it, and like we talked about this a little on the last podcast, and Dakota really liked this of like getting into the union wasn't just like a for sure you're set, you're gonna make $100,000 a year, here's your career. If I would have gone into a specific field with a degree, I could sign a contract making $100,000 a year, whether that's at a hospital, construction, whatever, right? That is not guaranteed in film. And I think that was my kind of big wake up call. Is like, whoa, I just spent 12 years building something that like is not guaranteed at all. And so that was kind of my like epiphany of maybe it's not all as beautiful as it seems.
It's definitely I think there's a lot of careers that are like this that people do, and a lot of them are in the arts, like film. It's a passion career.
I would argue that this industry is kind of like the fishing industry. Is like you have to be passionate and want to do it, because you may go out, not catch any fish, have to pay for your boat for the week, and like lose a shitload of money, and like, or you have a really good month kind of thing. So
yeah, definitely little passion things. You have to dedicate yourself to it to the full extent, or it's not gonna work. You can't half-ass this or anything in the arts fields. You know.
I want everyone to answer this. If it wasn't film, what do you think you'd be doing?
Oh, demolition derby driver. Monster
That
trucks.
was like no.
That was really
he
fast.
was like
Monster
ready
trucks.
for that.
Yeah.
I don't even
Those,
know.
those really fast. Do you
Human
want? Do
crash
you
test?
want to just go do that?
Human
I
crash
tried.
test dummy.
There takes some. There's.
They
some
have that, you
schooling
know.
Required for monster
Alex, they have human crash test dummies. You know, it's called
be-
a stuntman.
Yeah, but like I want
To be a demolition derby, you have to go to class for that. You
Not
just
that
don't
one.
like.
Monster trucks. I think you have to learn some
100%
stuff.
I'm
monster
sure
class.
monster trucks. You
No,
do.
they actually have a school like college that you pay for.
Monster
You go and then they train you, and it's like a whole thing. And if you pass all their curriculum, like it's like a thing. I got into it for a few years because I
That's
wanted to
Monster
do
Inc.
monster trucks.
That's what I'm
Disney,
saying.
don't sue us.
We need to get some big trucks.
But
and
like
drive
for
over
your
some-
classes,
And then
it's
like
the
if you
announcer.
graduate, then all like the companies look at all the graduates, and they like pick a person who's gonna be a good personnel for their brand and truck.
Yeah, see, I could do this.
Great.
It's a backup. I like it. It's a backup.
He could do
When I'm
it.
40, 50, you know, if
Yeah.
it's not working out, I'm just gonna go drive trucks.
Maybe do it before then, because if you're 50, getting into something that's getting
That's probably my only way in at that
Yeah.
point. The first elderly monster truck driver.
Dakota, what are you gonna do
Is 40
besides
elderly?
film?
Initially, my man, before I ever got into film, I also wanted to be a pilot. I don't know why camera people like airplanes so much, but I think we really do. No, actually, when I started at UVU, my first couple semesters were aviation.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were actually in aviation classes?
Yeah, I was in aviation classes and all that. Yeah,
That's cool.
I really liked it.
I think that's one of the most natural instincts of a human is to want to fly.
To fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far did you
yeah.
go? Did you like?
Is it?
2 semesters.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was about my second semester, and then
To
I
see.
decided I was like, this is really cool. No shade. I also just kind of felt like I didn't want to be like a flying bus driver
Yeah.
every day. I was like, cool, it's the same job, same buttons, same like routes. Like that's
Interesting.
okay. I really
Yeah.
want something that gives me more difference. Something I get to wake up every day and it's like got a whole completely different task. Today I'm in a room with 1,000 spiders. The day before, I'm like, yeah, just crazy things. Like just being in a situation where I'm doing new stuff every time I'm filming.
Yeah.
You were in
Every
a
time
room
I'm-
with 1,000 spiders?
I've actually.
I'm just like, that's just something you just threw out there so cash, and I was like,
So I've been canyoneering in a canyon, and for those of you that go canyoneering, this canyon was called Chambers. And you're in like this canyon, and you're like this. Okay, your hands are against your wall like this. Your feet and your knees are up against the like. That's as wide as the canyon is, right?
Mhm.
It's like pitch black, Like you're getting like a little bit of light from the canyon up top. Like that's how far down you're in. Like probably a couple hundred feet down in the slot canyon. You're like this, right? And
Could you fall?
oh, you could keep going and like wedge down into there and be stuck there forever. Yes. So you're like this, and then all of a sudden, I hear, "Ah! Ah!" And down the way is one of my buddies, and he's freaking out, and he's like, "Spiders! Spiders!" Dude, I kid you not, the whole freaking wall just started moving as these like daddy long legs are just like jamming up. So like we must have kicked rocks or something and like messed up a nest of daddy long legs, and the wall just goes just daddy long legs
woke up the
everywhere. Like,
fathers.
everybody was like freaking out, like, "Ah!" But what do you do? Because you can't move, right?
You commit suicide. Yeah, you
let
let
go
go.
and you fall down.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you do? You act like that's a question. You let go and you die.
You write your will and you say goodbye. It's
At that point, you just go,
been a good run.
Yeah,
bro.
good times.
Nah, that's when you lost Scoot.
Scoot, what about you, man? What would you do if you weren't doing film?
I don't know. I would probably be doing a
Selling
hand.
drugs.
I'd be doing a handful.
Breaking
of things.
Bad.
I would like to think I'd be doing something like fish. I would want to own a fishing boat or some type of outdoorsy, like own a ranch of some sort, or like canyoneer, be like a
Adventure guide.
yeah, like a Green River guide down the Green in Moab, or like some sort of
So
just
still poor.
I was
still.
about to say, so still very financially unstable.
Have you considered a barista on wheels? I think that's something that would actually really work out well for you.
So, to that though, with the ebbs and flows of the industry from our last podcast of how to sustain yourself in between that to now, we have committed and we bought the coffee truck. We started the rebuild and all that.
Yeah.
So we are doing that and getting that going for like slow times, but I don't think that's like a passion. That's gonna pay the bills and keep like the
Keep the lights on.
keep the lights on,
Keep
with
the baby fed,
coming
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. But like, I don't think that's something that I'm gonna wake up happy to go do. Honestly, I
Mm.
think that's gonna be something I wake up and that's a job, and I'm gonna have to grind it quite a bit. But it keeps the lights on, kind of thing. Yeah, I think if I was doing anything, you'd find me out in the desert with dreadlocks somewhere, just
Hell yeah.
kicking rocks.
100%.
Still
Playing
poor.
with
I could
sticks.
see that. I could see you and Charles
Poor and
like
broke.
finding each other in the desert somewhere and still being friends.
I feel like if
Okay,
we found them in the
100%.
desert,
I
they'd give us a
actually-
quest.
I have a story about this, and it's on the YouTube channel. It's still on our channel from when I was posting videos back then. You guys can find this. I was in Moab, hiking out in Moab. This was 12 plus years ago, and we would spend summers out there. And my buddy had this huge yard with a bunch of school buses, and we converted them and all lived out there in the summer, right? Broke as hell. It was just like community stuff.
Little hippie commune of buses.
Oh, 100%. Everyone's sharing food. It was gross.
That's cool.
It was cool, though. It was really cool and fun. But we're out there, and we're doing this hike, and we're in the middle of nowhere. We're like 3 hours out there. We did this climb earlier. We watched sunset, and then we had flashlights and headlamps, and there's like 5 of us, and we're like, let's just wander. And I forgot the name of them when they stack the rocks.
Karen's.
Cairns. There's a full like Cairn field, and we wanted to go see it at night.
A Karen field?
Yeah, it's
Do
like
not let a manager
in
walk
the
in there.
middle of nowhere in Moab. I'm sure.
People just go out there and stack rocks?
Mhm. It's like a destination to hike to, kind of thing. So we make it there, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna venture off, go watch some stars by myself, kind of chill over here. So I go like 30 minutes away, and I'm just doing this long loop around this thing, knowing that my friends are over here. Civilization's like 3 hours back. I'm over here, and all of a sudden, I'm like, hear something, maybe thinking it's an animal. I shine my light, and it is. Do you guys know what a Wookiee is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I got a couple of friends that turned into those.
A
Bro.
Wookiee?
A
Yeah,
Wook.
bro.
Like
this,
from Star Wars?
That's what they look
That's
Pretty
what
like.
they're based
much.
off of, yeah.
this dude appears out of nowhere with like. And when you said Charles and I just meeting out of nowhere in Moab, this brought into my mind. This dude has like jeans, cut shorts, no shirt, dreadlocks, no shoes, nothing with him. Just him.
Just out in the
He's
wild.
just born in the
Yeah.
rocks.
And he's just walking. And I'm like, dude, are you good? And he's like, hey, man. Comes, walks over, and I was like, do you need anything? Like, are you good? He goes, I don't really know where my camp is. Do you guys mind if I just chill with you and walk back with you? Bro, I shit you not, homie stayed with us for like 8 days.
Yeah, dude.
No, story gets
probably
weirder.
one of my friends.
Story gets weirder, bro. Comes with us back to our camp, hangs out, ends up being like a homie. He's like chilling with the friends. He went on the Green River with us one day because that was my buddy's job out there, was to be a guide, and he'd let us ride down the river at the end of the day with him. Total part of the community. I shit you not, bro. Homie pulls up in a $60,000 like nice car, just rolls up into camp,
Undercover boss.
pulls out this guitar, pulls out all this shit. It's his wife. And she's like, hey, like, are you ready to come home yet? Just found him in the middle of Moab. I guess homie just ventures off and does his thing
Just
for
got
a
an
little
air tag
bit.
in his ass.
She's
And then-
used to it.
Yeah, and
She's
she
like,
just,
oh, I found you again.
yeah, has his guitar in the car. He's like, oh, hi,
You
babe.
forgot this.
It's in the car, and they leave, and it was the weirdest thing of my life. I was like, dude was just walking around the desert in the middle of the night.
That so hard,
Found
dude.
a group,
That's
and
like
then
an Australian thing, dude. Like, have you ever heard that? Like, my buddy
No.
who
Walkabout?
lived in Australia, they're called walkabouts. And
Yeah.
I called him one day, and he's like, oh, good timing. You caught me right before I go on a walkabout. And I'm like, are you going to go around the neighborhood, or what are you going to go walk? Cool.
you gonna go walk your
You're
dog?
awesome. And he's like, no, I'll probably be back in a week or two. And I'm like, where are you going? And he's like, north. I'm like, what does that mean, dude? And then we like talk for a little bit. He ends up basically just goes to the edge of town and just goes.
Hmm.
And he just went for weeks, dude. And he got basically to the middle of Australia. And he calls me from a little town.
I'm
called
looking at
Alice
Charles's face
Springs,
right now, and
dude.
it looks like you're giving him ideas.
Charles like, this summer's gonna be
I know.
lit, man.
He's
Heck
like-
yeah.
He's like, I think
I
I
got
may
a
just go
family. I
north.
can't do that shit anymore.
But it was like the most therapeutic, most like amazing
Not much
thing
with
that
friends.
he says he's ever done. So I get it.
That's awesome. Well, at least we know Charles's backup plan. If film doesn't work out, he's just gonna walk.
Just go to the base of the Provo Mountain and we'll find his trails. We'll find them.
We'll
He's-
find
he's
him.
about a week.
Dude, I mean, I was
He's a week north.
A week north.
I was a long-haired, dreaded hippie
I know.
for a long time.
I think the people see in these videos and they go, he's a clean cut man.
Mm-hmm.
No, this man had dreadlocks and lived on rocks.
Mhm.
Hands taped, the full 10.
I loved that lifestyle. The only problem is I was broke as shit.
You didn't have a family.
Didn't have a place to
Responsibility,
live.
like-
Yeah, I didn't have a family then. I couldn't have a family and do that lifestyle.
I actually, have you ever seen The Big Fish?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The movie?
Huh?
Yeah. I like envy people who can do that with a family and in that lifestyle. It's something I want to try to do, but
See, and to that, like I feel, so my wife and I joke about this all the time. Like when we were younger, the joke was like, "Oh, you're just gonna be like living in a van down by the river." And not have a job, you know, and like
The Chris Farley bit.
That's what our parents would say, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
the second I bought my camera van, my whole family was like, so you got your backup plan? You can just move right into your van.
Yeah, right. But now that's like the dream. You're
That's
like,
it,
no,
yeah.
I want to
That's
live in
have
my
it made,
van down
yeah.
by the river.
You know what's bullshit about that? And luckily we got our van before, but it was like, there was like a year and a half, 2-year period where it was like you could buy these vans for 20, 30 grand.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden it was like
Yeah.
$60,000,
Sprinters are
$80,000.
trending.
Sprinters.
Mhm.
It was insane.
COVID freaked people out. They're like, I'm getting away. I will spend whatever I need to spend to get away. And it just hasn't gone back down since.
Even before then, though, I would say that was like a thing. Even before then,
It's trendy.
it was trendy to like,
It was
you know,
those
have a van,
Mercedes,
travel around.
the Mercedes
Sprinter
were like,
vans. Yeah,
the doctors out in Moab.
yeah.
It's true
They're
though.
$90,000
Mer says
vans.
half the doctors she works with have those vans and they go out to Moab all the time.
Oh, 100%, dude.
It's like
They also
cool.
go to Burning Man every year.
Yeah,
Burning Man
definitely.
doctors.
Every year.
One last thing I wanted to talk about, and then we should probably wrap it up. But have you guys? So Hunter King is a friend of ours. Have you seen? Her sister came out with a new movie on Netflix or series. She just got released from prison. The show is about this daughter whose mother is super controlling, and something happens that's super crazy based on
Cinderella.
based on a true story. Okay, let me.
Cinderella.
Gypsy Rose thing sounds like that.
Gypsy Rose.
Oh,
yes.
wait,
That's
they
it.
I was
moved
just shitting.
fast.
What?
They moved fast.
On that whole thing, yes.
She's been out of jail for like
2 days.
2 days.
2 days, and they already got that docuseries up. That's impressive.
Well, no. So I don't know the exact details, but I'm under the understanding she sold that story years ago.
Oh, really?
And that's been under production and everything. And then
Albie?
the idea and everything was it got released as
Mhm.
she's getting released, but to her benefit, and I'm like happy for her. It's only gonna like help her get out
Yeah,
of jail.
it's
and
like
actually, do
evidence at that
something.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can bring it up to court and kind of like make a
But
case
like-
with it.
But like that was amazing because I think if she were to go back into society and be like, and I'm not ruining it for you because there's so much stuff in this thing.
Is it a documentary or is it like a
Docuseries.
Docu-series. It's like 5 episodes.
Oh, wait, but Joey King is in it,
She's the main character. She plays Gypsy.
so then it's not a documentary series.
Well, it's a reenactment
A
for-
reenactment of it.
of her
okay.
portrayal, but then there's other
There we go. Okay.
Yeah, so it's scripted and everything.
Gotcha.
All that. But so good. And like
Hmm.
Joey absolutely crushed it. I didn't even recognize that it was her for the first like 2 episodes. And then Murr told me and I was like, it's just incredible
the
acting.
Leo
way they,
DiCaprio.
like-
I mean, hey.
Seriously though, like yeah.
No,
But it's so good. And we finished it last night and like we binged it, dude, in like
Yeah.
2
But,
days.
I'll have to watch that one tonight.
we
Have
tried.
you seen it? Do you guys know what I'm talking
I
about?
know what you're talking about because like the trailer for it. popped
Sure,
up on
I'm
my
over here thinking
Instagram.
you guys are relating with me and like
I just like a good story. I don't know.
No, the only thing I've seen recently on Netflix was Rebel Moon,
great.
and I couldn't watch that shit.
Why?
It looked really good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
it
Zack
was
Snyder Star Wars,
it
right?
was- yeah,
Basically.
it was
The
really pretty.
acting,
It
yeah.
was boring AF. Like the fight scenes were dope, but like there's not very many of them.
I will say though, the fight scenes to me felt like the scene in Star Wars with the red dudes, where it was
Yeah.
like, "You wait here, I'm gonna get this guy. Now you two
Turn-
come."
Turn-based
Yeah.
combat.
Yeah.
And then here's the other thing that pisses me off because Mandalorian did the exact same thing. Can we tell a different story other than Seventh Samurai?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not
Mhm.
only that,
Very true.
Come on, people! Seventh Samurai was made in 1956
56, right?
or
Something like that?
7,
Yeah, yeah.
something like that.
not only that,
And
though,
we can't tell a new story.
Kurosawa's rolling over in his grave right now.
Yeah,
I will say, Star Wars did it way better.
Star Wars did it way better, and that's why they
But-
turned it down and turned Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon down because he initially brought it to them and they said no because they already had freaking
Got-
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But to that point, though, the green screen or the
Virtual production.
virtual production screen and all that,
Mhm.
Star Wars did it right.
Yeah.
Problem with Rebel Moon is they tried shooting that as their masters and then cutting into it, and instead of using it as quick stuff, you know the
linger?
shot I'm talking
Yeah.
about when Homegirl walks out and it's like sand,
Yeah.
screen,
Gross.
and it's like you can totally see the difference. And she like walks out, and then they cut to, and she's like in the desert,
Yeah,
and it's like you totally tell they just went from a stage to like outside,
100%.
and it like doesn't even look close to the same like
Shot
it's
matching?
Not good.
So, which, the technology's whatever, like, it's not quite there yet for that stuff, but, like, I'm just talking about story-wise, it was boring. And if you're going to do the Seventh Samurai, then it needs to be, like, more action-packed than Kurosawa's was back in 1950.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt like it was this exact same pacing
Yeah.
as it was in Seven Samurai.
Not to mention everything, the like build ups and build downs are like the exact same of every movie that's came out in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You're like,
Just took
okay,
the blueprint.
this person's gonna die. Okay, obviously they're gonna save her real quick. Okay, this is gonna happen. You're like,
Yeah.
You can
So-
plot it out in the first 5 minutes. You're like,
Yeah,
"Alright, this
and
is dumb."
that's all I'm asking for is like let's come out with some new stories. Let's be inventive. But no, the big studios are who they are, and they're only gonna do what's gonna make them money.
I watched Creator.
We got stories. Just throwing that out there.
We do have scripts. We're funding one right now if you want. It's a great horror film. It's
We got
based
some good
in
stuff, dude.
based in the 60s. Summer of the 60s. Give us your money. We'll make it. It'll be great. We'll be partners.
And you'll make more money.
And you'll make more money. It'll be awesome. No, but I watched The Creator, like we talked about a little bit last time, and that's a great story. That is like a way to kind of take like I Am Legend, I Robot, like a lot of that kind of like futuristic survival, world-ending type thing, and like create your own story out of it. And I was entertained the whole time.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Did you feel like it was too on the nose because of all the artificial intelligence taking over? Did you feel like the movie came out right when it needed to, or it was too like on the nose for the type of technology we're developing now?
I think
and
it's perfect.
Yeah.
I think if that's not already done, I mean, it goes exactly with Cyberpunk. Like watching that, if Cyberpunk doesn't do it as good or better, because there's a live action being created, if they don't do it as good or better than the creator as far as robotics in arms and making it feel that realistic,
the enhancements and stuff,
then don't even create it.
Dude, a live action Cyberpunk?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dude, that's gonna be really
They're trying to get Keanu
with good money.
trying to do Johnny Silverhand.
NC-17.
Yeah, with like good money behind it.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
like what did they fuck up? Sorry, didn't really throw the F word in there. But what is it? Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah.
Like how they just
Oh,
butchered
Lord.
that.
So bad.
Hey,
Every
One
live
Piece-
action anime has been so bad.
One
One
Piece
Piece
was
was
dope.
great.
One Piece was
But
good.
if they Cowboy Bebop Cyberpunk, I'm gonna be pissed.
if they
Who's doing
do a Cowboy Bean Bowl, I'm gonna be
I
mad.
don't know. I don't know, but I know there's like big money behind it. So
That sounds fun, dude.
Interesting.
I'm really excited for that.
Well,
It's my favorite environment.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for catching us on this episode, and hopefully you learned a little something.
drop some comments and let us know what you guys would be doing if you weren't doing film. Or maybe what you're doing right now, and you're gonna quit your job today
to get into film.
because it's 2024. It's a new year. Just quit. Just quit and join film.
Yeah.
You don't need money.
Just give it a year.
You don't need money.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
See you on the
Peace
next
out,
one,
guys.
guys.
Bye.